welcome back to English Lessons with InLingua Vancouver. I'm Tash, and today we're going to talk about the most basic form of punctuation in the English language, the period. The period looks like this. It's a dot, but it gives us a lot of information. You might think that you know the period very well, because its first use is very simple. We use a period to end a sentence. It goes just at the end, the sentence is finished, it's complete, and we know that because it has a period. This rule is easy, I know. But the period has many other uses in the English language, and that's what we are going to focus on today. For example, we use periods in money and percentages. So here I have for you a number. I've got the dollar sign, so we know it's money. What does this number say? It says $1,256, right? That's not what I wanted to say. I have forgotten the period, and it has totally changed the meaning. With a period, what does it say? $12.56. So we use the period to separate the dollars and the cents, or in English, the pounds and the pennies. Okay? And here we have a percentage. So we know the percent sign means out of 100. So what do you think of this number? 246%. Okay, it's a really big percentage, much more than 100%. And it is incorrect. It is not the number I want. I've forgotten the period, and it has changed my meaning. What I meant to say was 24.6%. So how we have separated full percentage from the smaller part, from the decimal. Okay? So very important in money and percentage to remember your period. And another time we use periods is after initials. Okay? For example, Mr. Al Johnson. Mr. Al Johnson. Is that an initial? Al? Or is that a name? That's a name. I've forgotten a period. This should say Mr. A.L. Johnson, for example. Mr. Adam Lambert Johnson. Okay? So we know that this is two names because we have the periods. And you'll notice I put another period in here. Mr. isn't an initial, is it? What does Mr. mean? It is a title that we use usually for adult men. Okay? It is an abbreviation. See this word here? Abbreviations. To abbreviate means to make something shorter. Here is the full word, Mr. When I say Mr. But we don't often write out the whole thing. It takes too long. We make an abbreviation. We make the word shorter. And abbreviations are really important when we come to think about periods, because there are a lot of different kinds of abbreviations, and some need a period and some don't. So I'm going to try and help you with some simple rules to remember. So, talking about abbreviations, words made shorter. If we have a combination of upper and lowercase, so uppercase, capital letter, and lowercase, small letter, then usually we will always need a period when the word has been abbreviated. That means when we are talking about months, like, what month is this? January. We need a period. Even if you are in the middle of your sentence, this abbreviation needs a period. February. What is this? Is this a month? M-O-N? Mon? Verb, it says days. Okay? Monday. Again, we have capital, and we have two lowercase letters. And we need the period to complete this word, even in the middle of a sentence. I know that sounds strange. We also use periods at the end of abbreviated titles, just like we did with Mr. A.L. Johnson. Here I have 4 titles. Do you recognize them? Gov? What do you think that could mean? That means governor. Okay, a governor. Sen? A senator. This one a little bit easier because when I say it, doctor, I say the whole word, okay? Like Mr., doctor is abbreviated, but we say the whole word. But when we write it down, we abbreviate and we put a period. And then we have one more title, Mrs., which is the female version of Mr., okay? The title for an adult woman. So, abbreviations using upper and lowercase letters, they will nearly always take a period, even in the middle of your sentence. But what else? Where else do we see abbreviations? So you'll see them everywhere when you start looking for them. I see them a lot in addresses. When people write me a letter, my address, okay, we use abbreviations to make things simpler. Abbreviations like AV, ST, RUD, and BLUD. Do you recognize any of these? AV, avenue. Even though often we will write this all uppercase, it still needs a period. If it's part of an address, it's going to take a period. Same for street, ST, street. What do you think RD is? Road. And last one, BLVD, boulevard. That's a really long one, and we shorten it down to 4 letters, boulevard. Okay. Another kind of abbreviation that we need periods for are measurements. For example, if you're cooking, you look in your recipe book, they don't write out the whole thing. They give you an abbreviation like this. Do you recognize this abbreviation? This means pound, LB, and usually they are both lowercase. Same for OZ, ounces. It's a measurement, lowercase. This is also a measurement, but it is not a cooking measurement. Do you recognize this one? HR? Hour. That goes with min for minute. So these are time measurements, and when you use the abbreviated form, gotta have your period or you are wrong. Okay. How about countries? Do you know these countries? The UK, that's where I'm from, and the USA, just over the border. Where do the periods go in countries? Where do you think? So we've got 2 words here, United Kingdom. Okay. Give you a clue. It's the same as it is for Mr. A.L. Johnson. We're going to need 2 periods to separate these 2 words. And for the USA, we're going to need 3. Don't forget the one at the end. That's the tricky one. People often write the USA like this. That's not correct. It needs its 3rd period. So 3 letters, 3 periods. Okay. And these are all uppercase. They're countries. We usually write them United Kingdom, uppercase, uppercase, because that's 2 words. But sadly, in English, we have a lot of abbreviations for things like societies or agencies. Maybe you recognize some of these here. The CIA, the NFL, the FBI. One on the end that doesn't match the others. It's a very American set of abbreviations. And this one a bit more global, RAM. Okay? CIA is the Central Intelligence Agency. So you might think, 3 words needs a period. But in this case, it does not. Apart from with countries, when we take 3 different words, or 4 different words, and abbreviate with the first letter, we don't use periods. Okay? Countries are the exception. So here, National Football League, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Random Access Memory, this is a computer one. Okay? These are all made of 3 different words that have been abbreviated using only the uppercase letters, and we won't use a period because they are not a country. Okay? So I have some sentences down here for you, and I have forgotten all of the periods. I'm terrible at writing. Let's have a look at the first one. Ryan woke up at 7 a.m. So this is a time. Okay? We've got a time. Do you know what a.m. means? Okay. This is a time word that means in the morning. Okay? So when we have a.m., we know it happens before midday. And this is abbreviated. So we're going to need our periods. Okay? So with time, we separate these 2 words using the periods. What about the next one? Did you wake up at 7 a.m.? What is different about these two sentences? Did you? What kind of a sentence is this? This is a question. And now, ooh, a little bit confusing. If I've got two periods, what do I do about my question mark? Do you know? It's a really common mistake, so try and remember this one. If you have a period that is part of an abbreviation, a word made short, then your punctuation, your question mark, is going to come outside of that period. I know it looks really funny to have a period and then a question mark, but I promise this is correct. This is a super common mistake I see all the time in my students' writing. You need both. How about this last sentence? Your snoring woke me up at 2 a.m. You hear I'm kind of upset? There's a lot of emotion in my voice, so we're going to use a different kind of punctuation. What do you think? We're going to use an exclamation mark. So we need to put in our periods for our time word, and we need to put in an exclamation mark. Same rule as for a question mark. We're going to need both, two pieces of punctuation. And now you might think, is the first sentence wrong? Ryan woke up at 7 a.m. because this period, it belongs to the abbreviation. Do you need another period? No, you don't. If we are adding a question mark or an exclamation mark, you need both. But when your sentence is finished with the period that's part of the abbreviation, you're good. That's all you need. So I hope that that's helped you understand a little bit more about the many different ways that we use periods in English to help with our sentences, to help with numbers, and to help with abbreviations. And I'll see you next time for another lesson. Ta-ra!